The invitation came in a gold-trimmed envelope sealed with the Kim family crest. The annual Kim Foundation Gala. Formal attire. Attendance. Mandatory. Jungkook stared at the card while Jiho napped in the bedroom. Taehyung stood by the closet, selecting a navy suit. "You don't have to pretend tonight," Taehyung said quietly, not looking at him. "You just have to smile." Jungkook crossed his arms. "Do I get to know what I'm walking into? Old money? New gossip? Everyone waiting to see if the nobody I married can survive the walls." Jungkook's jaw clenched. Taehyung met his gaze in the mirror. "You'll do fine." That night the ballroom shimmered with golden chandeliers. Violin music played softly beneath the hum of conversation. Eyes turned the moment Taehyung entered with Jungkook on his arm. Whispers rippled through the crowd. "That's me as a kid, right? He's gorgeous, but too plain for Taehyung." Jungkook kept his chin up, spine straight, Taehyung's hand resting firmly on his lower back. It was possessive, but comforting. "Breathe," Taehyung murmured under his breath. You're crushing my fingers." Jungkook looked down. His hand was clenching Taehyung's. He let go quickly. "Sorry," Taehyung smirked slightly. "Don't be. You're convincing as a jealous husband." "I'm not acting jealous." "No." Taehyung's voice dropped, lips close to his ear. "Then why are you glaring at the guy who just looked at me?" Jungkook stiffened. "I wasn't." Taehyung chuckled, brushing a strand of hair behind Jungkook's ear. "Careful, Jungkook. You're starting to play the part too well." Later, on the balcony, Jungkook stepped out for air, heart pounding. The night felt heavy. The cameras. The pretending. The way Taehyung kept looking at him like he saw something underneath the act. "I thought I'd find you here." Jungkook turned. Taehyung stood in the doorway, tie slightly loosened. "You're good at this," Taehyung said. "Better than I expected." Jungkook laughed dryly. "You expected me to embarrass you. I expected you to hide." "I'm not scared of your world." "I know," Taehyung said. "That's what makes you dangerous." Their eyes met, tension thick in the quiet. Then Jungkook looked away. "You keep saying this is all fake. But you touch me like you mean it." Taehyung's voice was low. "Do you want me to stop?" Jungkook turned back toward him slowly. "No," he whispered. "But I don't know what it means." Taehyung stepped closer, stopping just short of touching him. "It means you make me forget we're pretending." For a moment, Jungkook swore the world slowed. But then a voice from inside called for them, shattering the moment. Taehyung didn't move, didn't blink. "We should go back." Jungkook nodded, heart beating too loud in his chest. He followed Taehyung back inside, not holding hands this time, but still too close. The night air clung to Jungkook's skin long after they returned from the gala. Jiho was asleep, curled like a kitten in their shared bed, Bunny cradled in his arms. Jungkook sat beside him, gently brushing the boy's hair from his face. Taehyung appeared in the doorway, tie off, sleeves rolled up. His voice was quiet. "He looks like you." Jungkook didn't turn around. "Everyone says that." Taehyung walked in slowly, standing near the window. "You okay?" he asked. Jungkook exhaled. "I hate pretending." Taehyung leaned against the frame. "You didn't seem like you were pretending tonight." Jungkook looked at him then, really looked. "Neither did you." Silence. Taehyung walked over, pausing at the edge of the bed, glancing down at Jiho. "He seems safe here." Jungkook's voice was tight. "He's never had a real home before." Taehyung looked at him. "And you?" Jungkook's eyes flickered. Me neither. The moment he hovered between them, too honest, too sharp. Like they were both holding pieces of themselves and wondering whether the other could carry the weight. Later that night Taehyung stood at the kitchen counter in a loose shirt, sipping warm tea. The lights were dim, the world asleep. Jungkook padded in quietly, sweater hanging off one shoulder. "You're still up?" he murmured. Taehyung offered a small smile. Didn't feel like sleeping. Jungkook joined him at the counter, both of them staring at the steam rising from Taehyung's cup. After a moment, Jungkook broke the silence. "Do you want to know how I became a single parent?" Taehyung said nothing, just nodded once. Jungkook's voice was low, heavy. "I was 19. Dumb. In love with the wrong person. He didn't want the baby. Told me to choose. So I chose my son." Taehyung's hands curled slightly around his cup. "I worked every job I could," Jungkook continued. "Some nights, we didn't even eat. I used to carry Jiho to cafes just to sit in warmth for a few hours." Taehyung didn't interrupt. He listened. Jungkook let out a bitter laugh. "You probably can't imagine that, right? Your world is so clean. Polished." Taehyung finally spoke, voice soft. "My world is empty." Jungkook looked up. "I have money, Jungkook. Power. But I come home to silence. I eat alone. I sleep alone. Everything looks perfect, but it's cold. All of it." Jungkook's chest ached. Taehyung turned to him, eyes darker now, raw. "When I said yes to this marriage, I didn't expect to feel anything. But now, I look at your son, and I wonder what it's like to be someone's safe place." Jungkook swallowed. "Jiho's the only thing I've ever done right." Taehyung reached out then, slow, tentative, fingertips brushing over Jungkook's wrist. "You're more than just his father," he said. "You're everything." Jungkook didn't pull away. But he didn't move either. "I don't know what we're doing," he whispered. "This isn't love." "Not yet," Taehyung nodded. "But it could be." One day, Jungkook closed his eyes, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't feel so alone. "Appa. Look!" Jiho's excited voice rang through the living room as he held up a crayon drawing with both hands. The paper was a mess of colors, a crooked house, stick figures, and a tall man with a square jaw and sharp eyes. Jungkook smiled. "Is that me?" Jiho shook his head and ran over to Taehyung, proudly placing the drawing in his lap. "Nope. It's him. That's Papa Tai." Taehyung blinked. "Papa Tai." Jiho beamed, eyes wide. "I saw you fix the faucet and carry the heavy grocery bag. You're strong like superheroes. So I gave you a cape." Taehyung looked down at the scribbled cape with the red T on it. His throat felt tight. Jungkook stood at the kitchen counter, silent. It was happening. Jiho was starting to see Taehyung as someone safe. Someone steady. Maybe even permanent. That evening Taehyung sat beside Jiho on the floor, surrounded by Lego blocks, while Jungkook watched from the couch. Jiho giggled as Taehyung made dramatic explosion noises, pretending the Lego tower had just been destroyed by a dinosaur. Jungkook watched them, heart thudding. This was the man he'd married for duty. Not love. Not even comfort. But something about the way Taehyung looked at Jiho, like he mattered, made Jungkook's chest ache. When Jiho finally nodded off in Taehyung's lap, mouth slightly open, Taehyung carefully lifted him and carried him to bed. Jungkook followed quietly, stopping in the doorway to watch him tuck Jiho in like he'd done it 1,000 times. Taehyung looked up and met his gaze. You didn't have to, Jungkook said softly. I wanted to. Later that night Jungkook couldn't sleep. The house was too quiet, too heavy with something unspoken. He wandered to the kitchen to find Taehyung already there, leaning against the counter with a glass of water. You think he'll forget his real father? Jungkook asked suddenly. Taehyung turned to him. Is that what you're afraid of? I don't want him to be confused. Jiho's not confused, Taehyung said gently. He knows who loves him. That's all that matters. Jungkook leaned back against the fridge, staring at the floor. You're getting close to him, Taehyung's voice dropped. Do you want me to stop? Jungkook looked up. No. That's the problem. Silence settled, thick and charged. Taehyung took a step closer. You're scared. I'm protecting him. Taehyung's gaze didn't waver. Then why do you look at me like you want me to stay? Jungkook didn't answer. His throat tightened. His heart betrayed him. Taehyung's fingers brushed his, light and careful. I'm not asking for forever, Jungkook, he said. Just, don't push me away when I'm already here. Jungkook looked up at him, eyes dark with something vulnerable and heavy. I don't know how to let someone stay. Taehyung's voice softened. Then let me show you. He didn't kiss him. He didn't need to. But the space between them had never felt so small.